Massdrop is an online group buy site with a large variety of products. Products can reach well below their MSRP, averaging around 50% off. Click the first link in the description to sign up. Hello guys, DarkLord Projects here again. And before we get started, I'd like to apologize for the lack of uploads. It hasn't been a lack of uploads, it's been like 1 or 2 days late videos because school has started, but that shouldn't be an issue any longer. I also have some projects I'm working on, and I hope for them both to be done this weekend, and I think you guys will be very excited to see them. I think they're both great projects. Most likely one of them will be done, but the second one for sure by this weekend. So let's get started into this $350 best budget gaming PC build. So the CPU is the AMD A10 6800K, which is $138. It's clocked at 4.1 GHz. It's quad core APU and FM2+. So this is an APU by AMD. This is their high-end one, being at $138, but it does have some pretty beastly specs for an APU. It's 4.1 GHz and quad core. So I think that's pretty decent for any budget gaming PC build. So this CPU does not come with a CPU cooler, so we have to purchase an external one. So we got the Arctic Cooler Freezer 7 Pro Rev 2, which is $18. It's 45 CFM, it's fluid dynamic bearing, and it's 900 to 2500 RPM. I think this is a good competitor to the Hyper 212 Evo, obviously a little bit less in quality, but for my research, I was considering to purchase this cooler myself. I think it has some pretty good specs and pretty good reviews for the price you're paying. So the motherboard is the Gigabyte GAF2 AFFM-S1, which is micro ATX. It supports high RAM speeds and it's FM2+. So this is a pretty basic board, especially for an APU. It does support high RAM speeds. This is very important when it comes to having an APU because you'll get better performance when you have faster RAM. So the RAM is the ADATA XPG V2, which is $80. It's 8 GB to 4 GB 6. It's DDR3 and clocked at 1866 MHz. It's $10 per gigabyte and it's ADATA made. I really do like this RAM for APUs because it does have faster speeds and is 8 GB. It's also $80, which is a pretty decent price for the specs you're paying. From what I heard on the internet, you could easily increase 1866 MHz to something a little bit higher, but don't hold me to it, it's just something I found on the internet. And it's also ADATA made. I think ADATA, Corsair, and Kingston make some really high quality RAM compared to some other RAM on the market currently. So the hard drive is the Western Digital Caviar Blue, which is $22. It's 7,200 RPM, it's 250 GB, and it's 3.5 inches. So this is pretty much the little brother of the 500 gig Western Digital Blue. It is only $22, but that still is a really good price for 250 GB. That's enough to hold your OS and at least 10 games. And for a $350 build, there wasn't much I could really choose from because we didn't have that much money to spare, and I'd rather spend more money on performance and hard drive space. So the case is the Rosewool Red Bone, which is $26. It's an ATX mid-tower case. It's a black case with red accents and it has good cooling. So I like Rosewool budget cases recently. I think they have some pretty good build quality for the price you're paying. It's not like cheap plastic all around. It actually does have some steel and stuff, which is great for budget builds. And it's also high quality, so it'll be able to hold all your parts perfectly fine and has good cooling, which is perfect for any PC build. So the power supply is the Corsair Builder CX430. It's 80 plus bronze certified, 430 watts, and it's loud after 50% or more usage. This is pretty much your basic budget power supply because it does have some pretty decent specs like 80 plus bronze certified and 430 watts. That's more than enough to power up all your parts, and we don't have to worry about GPU, which does take up a good amount of wattage. And it's also loud after 50% or more usage, which is most power supplies under 600 watts. So the overview for this PC build is it's very inexpensive and has decent performance. So both these go hand in hand because only $350 you'll be able to play almost every game thrown at it at pretty decent settings. Some games it might be even ultra while some might be low. It's pretty hard to tell for an APU. I know Battlefield 4 you could easily run this thing at medium to high at 60 frames per second, which is pretty amazing for only $350. So that's pretty much it, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later.